But you may know this story. Les Paul it was actually a stage gimmick at first. He would get out on stage with an instrument, and he would have this little contraption over here, which I'll show you there, and in the next couple of days we're going to fix it here. But he would get out on stage and say, I invented an instrument called the Les Paulverizer. There's nothing like it in the world. And he would play a little something, and he'd press a button, and then backstage you'd hear these drums playing. And then he'd say, I'm gonna press another button and add a bass, and backstage you would hear, the drums and the bass playing together. And at first it was, again, like I said, a prop, that he would use in his show. He did build a device that did that. You actually have it here. It's got this long electrical umbilical cord that would go to these tape decks here. So what we did with our students was, one of the things we wanted to do was to adapt some of his technology as a means of learning about, number one, the cultural significance of what Les Paul did, but also a way that these ideas, they don't just have to exist in a certain time period. You can take these ideas and you can glean from them and you can adapt them for other things. So we made our version of the Les Paulverizer, which again, it will be affixed to the guitar, but you would press the button and you press it again, it stops, and so you can do the same type of thing and bring in other instruments in here, adding the other, so we'll be able to show students how this device worked then, and how it can work, again for in a new capacity, and very cool, right? And interactive too, that they can see that, and this is all communicating through technology that we developed, and again, it was very fulfilling for us to learn about Les's work. I didn't really know much about him until maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but I thought, wow, what a great idea, and how inspiring it could be for us to start with those ideas and then take them in a different direction. So these things are happening here, and hopefully the first of many things that we can do together. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Lights flash and go to color and all that.
Yeah, you could go to anything. Yeah.
So is it mostly just the programming, or is it like programming, graphics, the whole shebang?
Oh, that we did all together? Well, it's the software, for sure. That's one part of it. It's the design of this hardware, too. So this is our own thing. It's running on in fact, part of the reason why this is acrylic is so that you can see it's got guts on the inside.
Right.
That might be interesting for a student to take a look at, but it's a microcontroller in there and buttons wired into it, and it's communicating through at this point USB, but it could also be wireless. Yeah, so all of that came out of our lab.
Now, will you have a patent on that, or?
No. In fact, what we're coming up with, I'll tell you, is we're coming up with a kit. So we're calling it the Les Paulverizer kit. And we want to make it so that people could just have a bag of parts and have a way to assemble it themselves with teachers. And we're trying to get it, we're working with a company in Philadelphia to commercialize, but we want to keep the cost as low as possible.
Right.
Because it's going to go in schools,
Right.
and then people can read about the story and find ways to make it. And it's all open, it's all what they would call open source, so they can get the software. Dan and Nikki and I are also talking about ways to get people to put their own music in there too and control that, so people can think about and see themselves in this process. They can come up with their own music that maybe doesn't sound like Happy Days so much, but it could sound like whatever. It's the idea that Let's Have is a really good one, and it's something that could be embraced by other generations as well.